Hi there, this is Sean, the Honest Book Reviewer, with another book review. In this video we're discussing Death of a Snob. It's book 6 in the Hamish Macbeth series, written by MC Beaton. It's a cozy mystery series, one of my favourite mystery series of all time. I love MC Beaton's books, both the Hamish Macbeth and the Agatha Raisin books. This is probably the strongest mystery out of books 1 to 6 in the Hamish Macbeth series. I did like this mystery very much. However, I didn't like it that the story took Hamish away from his home village. I do prefer when he stays in his home village and we get a lot of those characters in the village. When this book starts off, it's close to Christmas and Hamish is sick. He's got the flu he thinks and he's feeling very poorly. Also, he gets a call from his mother. They don't want him to come home for Christmas because an aunt is visiting and this aunt doesn't like Hamish. So they think Hamish can just turn up later on and they don't want any friction at Christmas time with his aunt. So Hamish is feeling down in the dumps now. You know, he doesn't feel wanted by his family. He's feeling sick. He just wants to mope around a bit. But then Priscilla turns up at his door. She gets him going, cleans up the house, gets him going with food and everything, pokes him up a little bit, and then says that one of her friends, Jane, has an issue that she wants Hamish to help with. Hamish doesn't really want to, but he agrees. And when Jane turns up, he hears a tale that somebody is out to get Jane. Jane thinks somebody's trying to kill her. Jane runs a health farm or a wellness farm on an island nearby, and she thinks somebody's out to get her. Maybe one of the locals, somebody else, she's not sure. There's just been a few things happening. Heater falling in a bathtub, a rock rolling down a hillside, nearly hitting her, things like that going on. And she thinks her life's in danger and she wants Hamish to investigate. Hamish doesn't really take it seriously, thinks she's a bit of a crazy one, but he wants a holiday. And he thinks, I might as well go spend some time for Christmas at this health farm free of charge, than stay at home by myself. So he says a few tales to her to make her think that something could be going on. And she invites him back to spend Christmas there with her and other friends she's got there already. So he's got an invitation for Christmas and he won't be alone for Christmas dinner. And that's what he was angling for all the time. When Hamish meets other people at this health farm, he's not very impressed with them. Maybe one person, Harriet, seems okay, but the rest just seem to be quite bitchy and quite angry. There's one in particular, Heather, and she's a really nasty piece of work. She just keeps at people all the time, making them feel bad, basically calling them names and calling them stupid and things like that. And nobody else in this group of friends or acquaintances really, because they're not really friends, they can't stand Heather. So you get a feeling early on, is Heather going to be the victim in a murder? Because they've got so many people who don't like her. And this is what's been going on in the MC Beaton books, in the Hamish Macbeth books, for the first 6 books in the series anyway, including this one, that the person who's not liked is the victim. And that just opens up suspects automatically in the story. So MC Beaton doesn't really have to work hard to give us a whole range of suspects. So sure enough, Heather is found dead. Hamish thinks it's murder. So he calls in the police, and of course that means Blair coming on the scene. They investigate for a short time and Blair deems it an accident. He thinks that Heather just fell and broke her neck. He doesn't think it's murder, but Hamish does. But Blair's warning Hamish, don't investigate, don't interfere. But on the side, Hamish starts to investigate and he brings along Harriet. And Harriet's one of the guests at the health farm at the time. And she's a cookbook writer. So she agrees to help Hamish try to solve this murder because she thinks something's going on as well. And she didn't really get a good impression of Blair. I won't dive into the whole investigation and who's guilty, because if you want to find that out, read the book yourself. But I will say that the mystery in this book is very strong. So even though I didn't like the fact that it takes place outside Hamish's village, I thought the mystery was really strong, really well plotted and well written, and the range of suspects is really strong as well. And this mystery does take Hamish away from the health farm for a bit. He ends up going somewhere else to investigate as well. And I like that as well. It kind of drags the story along a bit to different places. So it gets us as the reader to see different places as well. And we see how Hamish copes in these different situations. And interestingly in this book, Hamish thinks there could be a chance of a romance between him and Harriet. So you have to read the book to find out what happens there. But is this the start of the series bringing in new interests for Hamish, new love interests for Hamish other than Priscilla? Because at that stage in the series, we see that Priscilla and Hamish seem more like friends and nothing more. I also like the fact that Hamish was available to solve this mystery just because of circumstance. And that just seemed well crafted in the plot. If he didn't get sick, if his aunt didn't arrive to visit at his parents' house for Christmas, he wouldn't be available to investigate this crime. And I do like that fact. It felt well written, well crafted, and always felt a little bit quaint in a way, if I can say that. That circumstance at the start meant that Hamish could solve everything by the end of this book. And I just love that in this story. Heather, who is the murder victim, now she's just a ghastly character. She's rude, she's mean, she's arrogant, she's stubborn. She just picks fights with people, verbal fights with people all the time. I just found her a really intolerable character, and the other people at the health farm in this story did as well. But MC Beaton wrote her very well. Just the fact that I didn't like her so much means that MC Beaton's done her job. And it's good having that person as the victim because it gives us many suspects to think about. And I think that's the reason why these type of characters become the victims in these books. Harriet, who's the cookbook writer, and also the person who tags along with Hamish in this investigation, also the possible love interest for Hamish. So what's going to happen there? You have to read to find out. MC Beaton did such a great job in giving life to Harriet in such a short book. And I think that's one of her strengths as a writer. In very short books, she makes characters so vivid and they bounce off the page at the reader. And I really like the fact that we get characters that we can really get our teeth into in these books. Even if characters are only there for one book, they feel so real, so lifelike, and it's just so vibrant on the page, and we can picture them in our minds as well. And I think that's one of MC Beaton's strengths. Jane, and she's the woman that invites Hamish back to the health farm, the one who thinks someone's trying to kill her. She's a complex character. She's got a lot going on with her, and again, another character that's written very well for this book. She seems a bit neurotic, doesn't seem to know who she is really. She seems to be exploring things, who she is, but she's exploring things in magazines. And she thinks she can find out who she is from magazines. And she seems to just be unsure of herself a bit. She just seems to be up and down a lot. And you get hints from other people who mention her that she's a bit crazy, a bit batty. And you get a feeling about that as well. But you also get to see that she seems quite centered and she seems very perceptive. She's able to pick up on people's emotions and what they're thinking a lot. And that shows up in the character as well. So very complex character and very well written character in my opinion. Death of a Snob is a well written mystery. Very strong mystery. Again, even though I didn't like the fact that it takes Hamish away from his home village, the mystery is very strong. For that reason, I give it a 4 out of 5. I did enjoy some of the other characters in this book very much. MC Beaton gave them a lot of life in this book. You know, Jane, Heather, Harriet, those characters especially were written very well. And for such a short book, they're just so big in the story. As I go through this whole series, for each book in the series, I'll do a book review and put a video up on my channel. If you don't want to miss out on those videos, check out my channel and subscribe. Also, there's a Hamish Macbeth playlist on my channel. Should be on your screen now.